Welcome to this special Animal Save Movement tribute to a heroic woman, a woman who embodies the animal rights movement to the point where she gave her life for animals. I'm talking about Regan Russell. 5 years ago today, Regan Russell was peacefully bearing witness outside a pig slaughterhouse in Canada when she was run over, her body dragged and killed by a truck carrying pigs to slaughter. Her tragic and untimely death caused a global outpouring of grief that continues to this day. And today, on the 5th anniversary of her death, we will hear from her mother and father. We will hear from her best friend, and we will hear from animal rights activists all around the world who are paying tribute to this woman who has galvanized our movement, a woman we will never forget. Now, let's go out to our co-host, Azul Cardozo, who is in Uruguay. Azul.
Thank you, Jane. Hi, everyone. My name is Azul. I'm based in Uruguay, and I'm part of Animal Save Movement. Welcome to this space of memory and art. As Jane said, today we honor Regan Russell and also Alejandra Landers, two activists from different parts of the world, united by their love and courage. Jane?
Thank you so much, Azul. Regan Russell was an animal rights activist for more than 4 decades. She devoted her life to this cause. And she would hold signs that said, if you were in this truck, you'd want me to be here too. So right now, let's go to a music video put together by Scarlet Rescue, an extraordinary animal rights music video group that really outlines the incredible life and work of Regan Russell. Roll the tape.
You go, Regan Russell. You were here just a moment ago. In a flash, she got hit by the truck. I can see her blood flow. The pigs were thirsty and frightened. The slaughterhouse smell in the air. They scream from inside the truck. Blood is everywhere. To stop the killing and let these babies live. The vigil was calm and peaceful, a protest with kindness and love. Regan had the right to be there, gentle as a dove. Go vegan for Regan. She didn't die in vain. She gave her life to spare them the knife. Go vegan with Regan. Oh, we will fight in her name. Run down and killed. Her blood was spilled. Where did you go, Regan Russell? You were always here at the gate. You held your sign and spoke your mind till you met your fate. Go vegan for Regan. She didn't die in vain. She held her ground till they ran her down. Go vegan with Regan. Oh, we will fight in her name. She died for them.
What a beautiful tribute. Thank you, Scarlet Rescue. By the way, in case you're wondering, nobody's ever served time for Regan Russell's death. The driver ultimately pleaded guilty to careless driving causing death, was put on probation, and given a $2,000 fine. Again, nobody has ever served time for Regan Russell's death, and it has caused global outrage and heartbreak. And speaking of heartbreak, we want to go out now to the Donkey Rescue Sanctuary in Canada, where the mother and father of the late Regan Russell are standing by, along with one of Regan's very best friends. This must be a very difficult day. My heart goes out to you, Pat Russell. Please take it away and share your thoughts and feelings on the 5th anniversary of your heroic daughter's death.
Well, thank you very much for that tribute. It's much appreciated. I just wanted to say that in trying to find out how to speak about our daughter, I found in the New York Times an article by a woman named Yi Yun Lee, and she wrote about losing her child, actually children, 2 boys. And when I read it, it was as if she was speaking to me and about me. So I thought I would just pass this along. It was so heartrending to me. And she started. As soon as the detective spoke, there is no good way to say this, I sank into a chair. I already sensed the devastating news they had come to deliver, even though I couldn't fathom it. I felt like time was collapsing around me, as though I was stuck in an eternal present. No words could capture the devastation I felt. Losing my child, shattering, wrenching, aching. Words that came close felt meaningless. But I knew the words were the only way to anchor my thoughts to reality. This pain is in my life forever and ever, and I don't want to do anything to mitigate the pain, because to mitigate it means that something's bad. It's an illness or affliction. People always say, you're going to overcome this. I say, no, I'm not. They expect a grieving mother to behave a certain way. There is the expectation you will open yourself up, show your vulnerability, show your progress. All these things I don't do. What is perhaps most surprising is to exist in 2 realities that seem incompatible. One where I'm living in a desolate state I call the abyss, and another where I find fulfillment, amusement, and even joy in her work, her friendships, in little moments and memories. We're sad, we're very sad, but we're not unhappy. So long as we live, we carry our love for our child, even though she's not here. And we thank God we had her for as long as we did. And we thank these people here as well.
Those were some beautiful words. Let's hear from, thank you so much, Pat. Let's hear from your husband, the father of Regan Russell now. If we can move the camera over on this day of tribute and honoring Regan Russell. Sir, please take it away.
Thank you very much. Pretty hard to come out with words after hearing what my wife has just said. But I do have one word that, well, 2 really. The one that it was in the memorial that we printed in the local paper today. And that word was impact.
Mm-hmm.
And that was our Regan. Her impact on people, as well as her impact on animals. It's absolutely one of the nicest coincidences of the day, the fact that we are here at the Donkey Sanctuary, that Regan, well, she helped Sandra Spady get started way back in 2092 and 93 and 94 with this particular sanctuary. And she had a love for sanctuaries from then on. After all, she'd been through the Sidmouth Donkey Sanctuary in Derbyshire in England, made up of 7 farms. A wonderful place. Then there was the Monkey World in Cornwall. Had to be seen to be believed, along with the Gwick Seal Sanctuary in Devon. She knew what she was doing, and she pursued it all her life. And that became the impact that has remained Regan Russell's calling card, so to speak. And that produced a second word that I think applies today. And that word is ethos, because I'm in the midst of it right now. Ethos is a general feeling emanating from people who believe together, act together, and continue together all through life as well as death. So on behalf of Pat and me, I wish to say thank you. Thank you all for making us realize Regan really isn't gone. She is a presence. Thank you from the bottom of our heart.
Oh, such beautiful words. You have given the ultimate. You and Pat have given the ultimate sacrifice for the billions of animals killed unnecessarily every year. And I know that Regan Russell's death has invigorated so many people to stand up for animals who have no voice of their own. We are speaking for an entire class of beings that cannot speak for themselves. They cannot go to the vigils themselves. They cannot bear witness themselves. We must do it for them. I'd like to ask you, sir, if Regan's best friend, Catherine, would like to speak as well. Entirely up to her. Thank you so much, Catherine.
Thank
Please
you.
give us your thoughts.
Yeah, I just want to say I'm honored to be here today with everybody, and I want to thank everybody who's arranged and made today possible. Being with Anita and Jenny, Regan's idols, and her parents, Pat and Bill, who Regan loved more than anyone in this world, and what an honor to be with them today. Regan was my best friend, my sister, my right arm. I don't think I ever made a decision or choice without her input and her sage advice. And what I can share about Regan is that she was the most authentic person I've ever met in my life. She walked the walk, and her compassion and care for animals, we all understand that, but it extended to all living beings, to everyone's rights, to everyone's well-being. I don't think I know a person who cared about every living creature as much as Regan did. And I too am honored that I had the years of friendship that we shared together. Today is very difficult, and I missed her more than I could ever express to you in words. But I'm grateful because no one in my life has taught me the most important lessons of care and compassion, and giving to others the way that Regan did. And thank you so much for allowing me to speak.
Well, thank you so much for speaking. And thanks once again to Bill and Pat Russell. Our hearts go out to them on this day. I can't even imagine. I know I speak for many people when I say that Regan Russell has invigorated my activism. Anytime I think I might be too tired to go to a vigil or do another protest or do another action, I think she gave the ultimate sacrifice. The least I can do is get up off my chair and go do something for animals who cannot speak for themselves in this world. for ultimate liberation. And for those joining who may not really know anything about the SAVE movement, it is based on the philosophy of Leo Tolstoy, who said, essentially, if you see suffering, instead of turning away, which is the initial instinct, you have a moral obligation to get closer, see if you can help, and even if you can't help, to bear witness. And that's exactly what Regan Russell was doing in an extraordinarily peaceful way when she was literally run over, dragged, and killed by a truck carrying pigs to slaughter. And now back to my co-host, Azul Cardozo in Uruguay.
Thank you, Jane. Thank you so much, Bill and Pat. We are with you. Please know that Regan continues to inspire thousands around the world. She's not forgotten, and she's with us always. And also, as Regan said, I don't know if it does any good, but I know doing nothing does not good. Jane?
Absolutely. And, as we've been discussing, Azul, we have people from all over the world who are joining us. We literally have people standing by live in all parts of the world, in all continents around the world, because this is a global movement. So I believe now we are going to be introducing Sol Ochoa and Diana Rivera.
Diana.
And tell us where you are. I believe you are both in Peru. Thank you so much for joining us. I believe we're going to start with Sol. Take it away. Weigh in on this incredibly emotional and important day.
Thank you, Jane.
Hello. Buenas tardes. Hoy deseamos honrar la memoria viva de Alejandra Landers contándole quién fue ella. Alejandra fue una joven arquitecta, la primera activista en unirse a Lima Animal Safe. Ella luchaba por los animales, por el ambiente, por los derechos humanos, una muchacha noble, generosa, artística y profundamente empática. Defendía causas nobles porque creía con todo su corazón que ninguna injusticia debía ser normalizada. El 18 de marzo de este año, Alejandra ingresó caminando a la Clínica Sana de San Borja en Lima para ser tratada por una simple gripe. Horas después, tras recibir un suero defectuoso del laboratorio Medifarma y una serie de negligencias, Ale cayó en estado crítico. Convulsionó sin asistencia, fue minimizada, su familia fue ignorada, humillada, obligada a pagar tratamientos pese a tener seguro. Esa misma noche le declararon muerte cerebral, pero su cuerpo, fuerte, joven, aferrado a la vida, resistió un mes más. El 18 de abril, Ale partió al cielo. El 21 de abril fue despedida de este mundo. En memoria de Ale seguiremos luchando como ella vivió, con dignidad, con coraje y con ternura radical.
Thank you so much, Sol. Sol and Diana from Peru, Lima Animal Safe. They work closely with Alejandra Landers, and today they are sharing a few words to remember her life, her activism, and the legacy she left in her community. I'm going to translate what Sol just said about Alejandra. Alejandra was a young architect and the first activist to join Lima Animal Safe. She fought for animals, the environment, and human rights. A noble, generous, artistic, and deeply empathetic soul, she stood for just causes because she truly believed that no injustice should ever be normalized. On March 18, she walked into the Sana Clinic in San Borja, Lima, Peru, to be treated for the flu. Just hours later, after receiving a contaminated IV from the Medifarma laboratory and suffering a series of medical negligence, she fell into critical condition. She had seizures without assistance. Her condition was dismissed, and her family was ignored, humiliated, and forced to pay for treatment despite having insurance. That same night, she was declared brain dead. But her body, strong, young, and holding onto life, resisted for another month. On April 18, Ale departed to the sky. On April 21, she was led to rest. In Ale's memory, we will keep fighting as she lived, with dignity, with courage, and with radical tenderness. Diana?
Ale was a beam of light in this world. Wherever she went, her smile lighted up the space and made life feel more joyful. She embraced with her words, healed with her tenderness, and always leaning into everything that was worth protecting. She dreamed of a world with justice for animals, protection for the earth, and social housing for the most vulnerable. Her mind was brilliant and her heart endlessly generous. She saw with the soul and gave what only love can offer: presence, purpose, and action. Today, she is in every act of courage and in every piece of activism we carry forward. Her absence hurts, and it will be carry her in our hearts always, and we won't stop until justice is done. Thank you.
All right. I want to thank you both. This obviously is a global movement, and you can see we have Uruguay, we have Peru, and we're going to go to other nations as well as people rise up and say what's happening to animals, particularly in industrialized animal agriculture, is a moral stain on the human species. And so good people like Alejandra Landers Carpio, who lost her life, and Regan Russell, who also lost her life, they should inspire us to redouble our efforts to speak for these animals, to get a Bill of Rights for these animals. Because as the co-founder of the Animal Save movement, Anita Krein, says, they are not mere objects, they are not mere property. These are sentient beings who can experience suffering and pain in the same way that we do. So I just hope everybody watching takes inspiration from Alejandra and Regan and doubles down on their activism, to get out to more vigils, to get involved with the plant-based treaty, to get involved with Unchained TV, to go to protests, to inspire people to try plant-based meals, their family, their friends, their neighborhoods, the greater communities they live in. It's up to us. Now, speaking of Regan Russell, as we honor the 5th anniversary of her untimely death, and again, if you're just joining us, Regan Russell was peacefully engaged in a vigil outside a pig slaughterhouse in Canada when she was run over, dragged, and killed 5 years ago today. We have heard from her mother and father and best friend, but Regan Russell's untimely death has inspired so much art, including this very poignant song, which we're going to play for you now by Barbara Helen. And the name of the song, and it's been turned into a music video, is One Voice for Regan. Roll the tape.
You were one voice, standing up for what you believe in. You were one voice, standing up for justice. You were Regan. Where there was darkness, you were the light, shining so strong and shining so bright. Rest in power, rest in peace. We will keep on fighting, and your memory will go on and on and on and on. Your memory will go on and on and on and on. Get real, move a little closer to the suffering. Where you can't help, bear witness to the pain. As the government strengthen their ag laws, Bill 156 criminalizing our cause. Regan so bright, Regan so strong, the echoes of your courage will live on and live on and on and on and on. We are one voice, justice for Regan. We are one voice, go vegan for Regan. We are one voice, justice for Regan. We are one voice, go vegan for Regan. We are one voice, standing up for what we believe in. We are one voice, we all stand together here for Regan. There was a killing, but you will live on. Standing up for what's right can never be wrong. Rest in power, we will come in peace, but we will never rest in peace. For your memory will live on and on and on. Your memory will live on and on and on and on. We are one voice, justice for Regan. We are one voice, go vegan for Regan. We are one voice, justice for Regan. We are one voice, go vegan for Regan. Your courage will live on and on and on and on. Your memory will live on and on and on and on. Your courage will live on.
Such a beautiful song, such a beautiful song. And we are so honored right now to have Barbara Helen, the woman who wrote that song and performed it with us. Barbara, this is such a difficult day. What an incredible song. Can you share your thoughts and feelings on this day in terms of Regan Russell's ultimate message and what we as a global community need to do to honor her life and work?
Absolutely. It's an honor to be here today and so moving. And the words of Pat and Bill just really touched my heart. I've been bearing witness with the Animal Save movement in the northeast of the UK for the last decade. And Regan is an inspiration. I've written songs after I've borne witness with the Save movement. And it's artivism. Art is a great way of activism, of reaching people and reaching your heart. And when I wrote the song for Regan, it came from the heart. It was almost like I was channeling the song. And yesterday, when we held an earlier vigil for Regan at the slaughterhouse that we bear witness at in the northeast of England, I held the sign, if you were in the truck, we'd be here for you too. And you've already mentioned that Regan said, you know, I don't know if it's doing any good, but I know doing nothing does no good. And she continues to be a huge inspiration because she's everything you would want an animal rights activist to be. She is empathetic. She was empathetic, and she had humanity. She believed in justice. She aligned her morals and her actions. And as her friend said, you know, she was just an all-round amazing person with with human and non-human animals. So she was an inspiration, and she continues to be an inspiration. And everything I write comes from the heart, and it's a way for me, as being an animal rights activist, to remain sane in a pretty unsane world, really, because we need to express those emotions. So we are all one voice for Regan, and we all stand together for Regan, and her memory and her courage will live on and on.
Thank you so much for your words, Barbara Helena, and they touch my heart. Every movement has martyrs, and Regan Russell is a martyr for the animal rights movement. She gave the ultimate. She sacrificed her life. She was literally, it just seems surreal to even say it, run down by a truck carrying pigs to slaughter, run down, her body dragged and killed. And again, no one's ever served time for that, just probation and a fine. And to remind everybody what we're talking about, ultimately, this is a consumer issue. Well over 80 billion sentient beings classified as farmed animals are raised in horrific, torturous conditions in industrialized animal agriculture called factory farming and killed every year. And if people didn't buy those products, none of this would be necessary. The vigils wouldn't be necessary, the protest. So it's really ultimately to every human being watching to realize that every bite you take is a moral issue, a political decision, and an environmental decision. And just as a reminder, Oxford University recently published a study that showed that heavy meat eaters, which, for example, is most Americans, can reduce their greenhouse gas emissions footprint by 75% by switching to a plant-based diet. Now, when you think about it, that's a solution to the climate crisis. So for all of those reasons, for compassion to animals, for human health, and for the environment, let's honor Regan Russell by doubling down on our activism, and if we're not already plant-based, to make a move toward plant-based today. Let's go back out to Azul in Uruguay, and I believe you're going to be introducing someone from Medellin.
Yes, you're right, Jane. First, I want to also thank you, Barbara, for your music and all the years you put into the movement. It was really touching, the song. I really love it, and it's so special to have you here with us. Now I'm honored to introduce Caro from Colombia. Caro is a longtime activist, part of Medellin Animal Safe, and the founder of the collective Proyecto Helios, known for her powerful animal meditation, a moving form of street activism that invites deep empathy. Today, Caro will guide us through a mantra-based dynamic. Caro?
Hola, ¿cómo están? Un saludo acá desde Colombia. Bueno, les voy a invitar a que compartamos un momento de meditación juntos. Pueden unirse al canto con nosotros y también llevar las manos al corazón, si así lo sientes.
So Caro is saying that we're gonna share together a moment of meditation, and you can bring your hands next to your heart if you feel it.
Vamos a poner ahí una imagen donde pueden ver el mantra que vamos a usar, que es en sánscrito desde la tradición budista, este mantra que nos invita a conectar con la compasión y con el amor.
So if it's possible, we can put the mantra, the image mantra that we have. Thank you so much, Jennifer, to connect with this mantra and connect with love and compassion.
Podemos poner nuestra espalda recta y conectar con nuestra respiración.
We can connect with our breathing and how our back straight.
Oh, Mani Padme Hum. 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 Que todos los seres sean felices, que todos los los seres sean en paz, que todos los seres sean felices, que todos los seres sean en paz. May all beings be happy, may all beings live in peace, may all beings be happy, may all beings live in peace. Oh, Mani Padme Hum, 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 oh, Mani Padme Hum. Que todos los seres sean felices, que todos los seres sean en paz, que todos los seres sean felices, que todos los seres sean en paz. May all beings be happy, may all beings live in peace, may all beings be happy, may all beings live in peace. Ponemos ahí todas las intenciones en nuestro corazón para que todos los seres sean libres y felices.
We can think now about all the animals and put all our intentions on the animals, and thinking that all animals can be free and can be happy.
Y que nuestros espíritus mantengan encendido el fuego del activismo para transformar esta realidad.
That we keep going with our activism to transform this reality.
Gracias.
Gracias, Caro. Thank you, Caro, for that beautiful and grounding moment. Remind us that activism can also be healing and that we can resist while feeling and breathing together. Jane?
Thank you, Azul. Thank you, Caro. And you are a wonderful reminder that self-care and healing of our own bodies is so important in activism. We experience trauma on a daily basis. It's very difficult to attend the vigils and see these terrified animals going to slaughter. It's hard to look at the videos that we have to edit and see undercover video of animals being tortured in industrialized agriculture. So a message to everyone, while we double down on our activism, also self-care is extremely important. Message to self as well. We are going to move on now to some of the other art that has been produced in the wake of Regan Russell's horrific, untimely death 5 years ago today. Again, if you're just joining us, this is a special Animal Save Movement tribute to Regan Russell, who was run over and killed by a truck carrying pigs to slaughter 5 years ago today. We're hearing from people around the world. But we're also going to tell you about an extraordinary film that was done on this very subject, because there's so much controversy surrounding her death. Again, I want to stress that nobody's ever served time for her death. There was only probation and a fine. So the famed filmmaker Sean Munson, who brought us the extraordinary documentary Earthlings, which has probably turned more people vegan than any other film on the planet, he made a film, a documentary about Regan Russell's life and death called There Was a Killing. And now we're going to play a trailer from that film. Roll the tape.
First of all, I want to start off by expressing on behalf of the Halton Regional Police our sincerest condolences to the family and friends of the woman who lost her life here today. We got a call at about 10:20 a.m. For reports of a pedestrian struck by a transport truck hauling pigs.
Only people love pigs as much as they love dogs.
Regan was standing over at the crosswalk, waiting, had the right to cross. Pedestrians tend to always have the right of way.
That truck driver, he saw Regan. He was staring at Regan the entire time.
I remember this massive garbage truck driving by us, honking. Like, it was just absolutely chaotic.
This argument that, oh, I didn't see her.
He could see us.
The fact that he sat there in the street, is he just getting more and more worked up?
The way he whipped around the corner, he went so fast.
He was accelerating. It looked like he was trying to hit her, and that was intentional.
They pass ag-gag laws that say we can't be investigated, we can't be photographed, we can't be filmed, that allows them to avoid the legal consequences for their behavior.
The light turned green. She had the right of way.
All of these types of issues are going to come out.
God forbid this was an intentional act enabled by a law that a truck driver might see as a license to kill.
We're dealing with people's right to assemble, people's right to freedom of expression.
This bill says that if you're driving a truck and you hit somebody, you're not responsible for killing that person.
My daughter! No precedent. There's never been a case like it. You will be making precedent.
One is this dude is super malicious, and two is he didn't know.
But it does not absolve him of due care.
Whoa! Have some compassion!
And I would just like to say that There Was a Killing is available for streaming on Unchained TV for free. That's the 100% free nonprofit streaming television network for animal rights and the vegan movement, which I founded. You can see it here right behind me. And if you want to watch the entire film, There Was a Killing, just go to unchainedtv.com and you can watch it right there. Azul?
Thank you, Jane. Thank you, everyone, for witnessing this with us. There Was a Killing is a difficult but necessary reminder of injustice Regan Russell faced. And right now, we are going to welcome Bifo, a singer, activist, and deeply creative soul from Canada. He's part of Toronto Big Save and the Global Plant-Based 3D team. Also, he's joining us from Bolivia, and he will share a song that turns pain into purpose and speaks straight from the heart. Bifo?
Thank you, Azul. I'll be doing a remix of U2's Pride in the Name of Love. I wrote this after my Vipassana course in Brazil, and I dedicated it to Regan. So let's go. Speak up for the voiceless, they speak but most ignore them. We got so many choices, we choose what we support in. See how we view non-human lives. They feel they see the world in their own eyes. Activists come in the name of love. Some of us come and go. Alive to the danger. Doesn't matter, we'll make it through. We spread Regan love for all. Spread Regan love for all. Late morning, June 19th. Tires roll, we hear some screams. Free at last, they took your life, but they couldn't take your pride. We spread Regan love for all. Spread Regan love for all. Thank you, and shout out to Daddy Mello from Brazil for helping me to finish that song.
Beautiful, really beautiful. Thank you for that. And obviously, Regan Russell's amazing life and horrible death has inspired so much art. Azul, I understand that you have somebody from Mexico City who's going to speak about how Regan and the other activists have inspired more activism.
You're right, Shane. Now we welcome Roberto from Mexico with CDMX Animal Save. CDMX Animal Save use art to bring heart and impact to their activism. And we're so glad to have him share a bit of that with us today. Roberto?
Hi everyone, thank you. It's a honor to be here and share how we integrate art into our action for animal rights. We believe that sometimes words are not enough. We need to reach people on a deeper level to move them, and that's where art becomes powerful. So, if you can share, yeah. In this photo, for example, we take a part of music festivals when we create spaces of reflection and connection instead of confronting. We open conversation, we plant seeds, and we believe we connect hearts. In the next photo, please. This is so special. In the second photo, we vowed the slaughterhouses to heart of the city with the Mexico City without the slaughterhouse campaign. We recreated what happens behind closed doors, what many don't want to see. It was very intense, uncomfortable. For that reason, it's necessary. Major national media covered this action and showing that art can also break without the silence. The next, please. In this photo, it's a performance outside the Imborsa Aquarium. Activists paraded marine animals trapping in a tank, scared helpless, while others walked by, starting took photos, louder. We believe it's not fiction. It's a reflection of what happens in the real life to animals in captivity. Through this performance, we want families, especially children, understand that suffering behind the glass. And the next, please. In this photo was show the most moving action in front of the Palacio de Bellas Artes here in Mexico City, one of the most iconic cultural landmarks in Mexico. Here, hundreds of people came together to form the word freedom, using candles and photos of exploited animals. We accompany to display with live music because we believe collective art can turn pain into hope, and you need us to share the post. And finally, sometimes we use chalk activism to write message in favor of animal rights and the planet because public space can also be a canvas for resistance. And art, finally, we honor to our culture by including animals in Dia de Muertos, altar, or ofrenda. It's one of the most important traditions here in Mexico. And we use it to show that the animals also matter, that they too deserve to be remembered and honored. So art is our tool to make the invisible visible, to transform compassion in actions, and to remind us the world that just society begins when we stop seeing animal as a things and start seeing that as someone. So finally, justice for Regan Russell and Alejandra. They will always be present in every actions we take, and their stories will continue to inspire us now and forever. Thank you so much.
Wow, that's so beautiful. Thank you so much. What's really interesting is for those who really don't know much about the Animal Save movement is that it was formed just about 15 years ago. And it started when Anita Krines, an academic in Toronto, was walking her dog and somehow got pulled to a truck. And she saw the truck and she saw pigs inside the truck headed for slaughter. And she made a vow that their ride to the slaughterhouse would not go unnoticed, and made a vow to hold a vigil 3 times a week to bear witness as those trucks passed and stopped at a stoplight to give love and, if possible, water. And this has grown into a global movement. The ultimate aim of the Animal Save movement is to have a vigil at every slaughterhouse. So if you're watching this and you say, how can I get involved? You can find out the slaughterhouse nearest you and or the factory farm and hold a vigil there. And you wouldn't believe how many slaughterhouses there are. You might think, oh, there's none where I live. But if you look, you will find them. Tragically, there are many, many. As we mentioned, this is now a global movement growing fast, and that includes the continent of Africa. And we are going to go now to a video by Bahana Tata in Gambia, talking about the growth of the animal save movement in Africa. Roll the tape.
Where vegan garden grows. A treatise proves its purpose clear. To guide our plate, our heart, our mind towards the future we hold dearly. The plant-based treaty takes its stand. A call to action, urgent, wise, to shift from meat to plant-based meats. Beneath compassionate greener skies, for health the benefits abound. With fruits, greens, our body thrive. Reduce disease, a longer life, from nature's bounty we derived. Less heart diseases, less cancer traits, lower risks of diabetes stalls.
A diet rich in plant-based fare that can nourish body, mind and soul. But modern health, the planet gain. As greenhouse gases fade away, animal farming heavy cost on Earth, as well-being as always.
Deforestation lowers its pace. Biodiversity can rebound. Water safe, emission costs, a sustainable path is found. The treaty urges all to act, from individuals to the states. Policy and public guides can help us all change our plates. In schools, in homes, in every place, let's plant-based option lead the way for climate, health, and kindness too. Together, let's choose to eat the greener way.
I am Poetic Master. I am in support of the plant-based treat.
Princess Poet, I am in support of the treat.
I am in support of the treat.
Support of the treat.
That is absolutely wonderful. And the plant-based treaty is another outgrowth of the overall animal safe movement, where cities are adopting plant-based by default. We just covered a plant-based treaty event in West Hollywood. West Hollywood, an incredibly progressive city, has adopted plant-based by default, which means that all of their city events are plant-based by default. And they are urging other cities to follow suit. So it's not just individuals making the changes, it's also institutions. Take it away, Azul.
Thank you, Shane. Yeah, that words are powerful reminder that in the face of the climate crisis, plant-based solutions are not optional, they are urgent. Now we welcome Dipesh and Ravi from Kathmandu Animal Save. They've been doing an amazing work in Asia, using art and creativity to raise awareness and bring compassion to the streets. We're really happy to have them with us today. Dipesh?
Thank you, Azul. And let me share my screen.
And of course, we're coming to you from Kathmandu right now. So thank you for having a moment of patience, because there we go. This is a global event. So take it away, Dipesh.
Okay. Hi. So namaste and warm greetings from Nepal. We are so honored to be part of this powerful gathering, and thank you everyone for being here. We are speaking on behalf of Kathmandu Animal Safe, being a part of this global community and having the support of the local grassroots collectives of activists, artists, and animal lovers. We are able to use art as resistance, storytelling, and remembrance. So art has always been a powerful role in social justice movement across the world. So whether it's through iconic poster, street murals, songs, or poetry, art has always helped movements to express struggle, emotion, and victories. So in our work for animal rights, we believe that art can speak where words sometimes fall short. So we include art in projects like Nepal Vegan Gallery, Paint for Animals, and National Animal Rights Day. And at National Animal Rights Day, we perform something called a Kranti song. It is a powerful track from the perspective of animals asking for freedom and liberation. This song was originally borrowed from a local drama theme, which tells the raw truth of animal suffering in a poetic and musical form, and we perform it every year to amplify the voice of animals. The dance here depicts animals' cry for freedom and the goal to break free from the cages, ropes, and hands that exploit them. And we believe that without all the collaborations, this plight of non-human animals would not have been put in words as strongly as now. Along with that, we use other form of art for animals. We share songs, poems, and stories written by fellow activists. These performances are our way of reminding our community that these animals too deserve freedom just like we do. We believe that art breaks barriers. Sometimes people may not respond to facts or numbers, but a song, a heartfelt poem, or a painting that can touch their hearts and make them think. So I'd like to ask Ravi to explain more on our other projects where we use art during our activism.
Thank you, Dipesh. So one of our biggest art-based activism project is Nepal Vegan Gallery. It's a yearly event we organize in November to honor World Vegan Month. In this gallery, we showcase paintings submitted by artists, animal lovers, and activists. The process starts from conducting Paint for Animal Rights events, where people come and express their thoughts and emotions through painting. We ask them to paint expressing from any of these three aspects of this animal's existence, showcasing how they are exploited, for example, in farms, slaughterhouses, traditions, and in any human entertainment, showing their individuality, focusing in their personality, and showing that they are not just numbers, and showing the goal of liberation, showing a world that all these non-human animals and animal rights activists uh, like late Regan Russell dreamed of. So we keep this session open for all the animal lovers. Sometimes it's vegan, vegetarians, or even non-vegan who join us. We let them search their memories to paint exploitations of animals on the canvas. During all this, we have conversations on the topic of veganism and animal rights. Once they complete their painting, these pieces then becomes a part of our gallery. It's not just about showing the suffering, but also about building a community and making people feel involved. During the Nepal Vegan Gallery, we write stories to each painting, explaining what message the artists wanted to deliver through it. This gallery takes place for a day, and at the end of the day, we auction these paintings, giving a chance for the attendees and the other activists to take those emotions home. In short, for us, art is more than just creativity. It's a bridge between activism and empathy that we use to connect with people and speak on behalf of animals whose cries are ignored by our society. These projects are a part of something we are constantly experimenting with. Thank you for giving us this space for sharing our journey. Thank you.
So beautiful. Thank you so much, Depesh and Ravi from Kathmandu. Wow, this is extraordinary. Take it away, Azul.
Thank you, Shane. Yes, what you're doing in Kathmandu reminds us that this is a global movement full of creativity, strength, and heart. And now let's welcome Francesco from Napoli Animal Save Initiative. It's a real pleasure to have Francesco with us today. Napoli Animal Save work shows how art can move people and open space for compassion. Francesco?
Hi, everyone, and thank you. I am so honored to be here with all of these kind and amazing people. Um, I thank everyone for this beautiful workshop, because I think it united us in grief regarding the loss of two very brave activists of our movement. We have listened to beautiful songs together during this workshop and seen amazing artistic performances. And I would like to talk about how in Napoli, in Italy, we often involve artistic performances during our activism. For example, in this picture, it was a Save Square, a street action that we held on Mother's Day. We handcrafted the milking machines used in farms, and connected a canister to the breast of an activist who was acting out like a cow. Another time, in the Day for Animals in Laboratories, if we can go to the next photo, we made up an activist as a rabbit, victim of experiments. Here you can see our activist was acting out a cow with the milking machines attached to her breast. These simple but very powerful representations attracted people so much, who immediately understood what our message was. And I think this is the demonstration that art is a very powerful tool that can unite and speak a universal language. And it can really unite people from all over the world, just like it did this evening to honor our two amazing activists, Regan and Alejandra. And we will always fight with them. They will never be forgotten.
That is so beautiful. Thank you. And, it takes a lot of courage to do that kind of activism, to get practically naked and put cones on your breast. And I know many of the activists who do that, and they do it because they say the animals are suffering so much, they'll take any risk and risk arrest, risk humiliation. It's not easy to do that. And so I think, we have to acknowledge that doing these forms of art activism are really challenging. Can you address that a little bit, Francesco?
Yeah, I think it really is challenging, because you put yourself in a vulnerable position in a street full of people. But I think that, as I said, first of all, we are always so committed to speak up for animals and fight for them, with them. So we're not afraid of doing things and push ourselves to our limits sometimes. But as I said, I think these artistic performances really can make people connect to what you're trying to say. People, when they pass by, they do not judge you because you're naked in a street, covered in fake blood, but they do understand because, as I said, I think art speaks for everyone and reaches out to everyone, to everyone's hearts. So people are often touched by our performances in the streets, and I think this makes the connection between what they're eating and the victims behind dairy products or meat more simple. So I think it is hard to do that, but I think it's also helpful and useful for people to understand what anti-speciesism is, and that we have a responsibility to bear witness to the animals and reduce their suffering.
Wow, Francesco, thank you so much. And I think you're making such an important point. Art is a way to make a political issue, an environmental issue, a moral issue part of the culture. As somebody said, and I think it was Joan Baez, I was listening on public radio, and she said, the anti-war movement in the 60s and 70s was a political movement until music entered the picture. And once music enter the picture, in that case, particularly rock music, it became a cultural phenomenon. So that's just an example of how important art is when it comes to activism. So we're just about at the end of our program. Some final thoughts, Azul?
Yeah, thank you. I just want to add also that thanks, Francesco, for bringing such a powerful performance. I think this kind of actions speaks without needing many words and make visible the violence behind these animal industries. And I just want to say also thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. Today we remember Regan, Alejandra, through art, through love, through action. As Regan said, if you were in the animal's position, would you want someone to speak up for you? So we keep going, we keep fighting together and with all our heart. Thank you.
And thank you, Azul, for all your hard work, as well as Jennifer O'Toole behind the scenes doing an amazing job coordinating all of this. And I want to say no tribute would be possible without one of our non-human animal friends joining us. This is one of my vegan rescues, Wednesday, and she says, go vegan for Regan. So on that note, I want to end with an incredible song by the amazing Barbara Helen, I Saw You Today. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Roll the tape.
I saw you today. I saw you today. I looked into your eyes. I apologized. What more could I say? I saw you today. I stood beside you today. I stood beside you today. We all saw who we were fighting for. What more could we do? I stood beside you. I will stand with you. I'll stand beside you. We'll stand together as one. You only had one life. Now that life is gone, so wrong, so wrong. My heart broke today. My heart broke today. You knew what the innocents went through, then you feel the same way. My heart broke today. I will stand with you. I'll stand beside you. We'll stand together as one. Now that life is gone, so wrong, so wrong. I saw you today. I saw you today. I looked into your eyes. I apologized. What more could I do?